Hi, like many people all over the world, I love to cook outside on open coals, cooking meat and potatoes and things like that. And today I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable barbecue or braai using a few bits and pieces from the tip shop or from your local hardware store. So like most South Africans, we like to braai, and we always had a problem in the past getting the meat to the exact right height. And I'll show you a past thing that I've used where we had a washing machine drum and we cut some slits in it to put the meat at different heights for different temperatures. And of course many people in South Africa use the old brick method. But a few years ago we all traveled to South America, and suddenly I saw how they did it there. They have an adjustable grid, or a parrilla ajustable, which is raised and lowered using a crank handle. So today I'm going to show you how I made one here in Australia where we're now living. So firstly I went to the local tip shop and I managed to find an old barbecue, gas barbecue, for 10 bucks. And the initial thing was to take out the things that I didn't need, all the gas bits and pieces. I put on some slightly stronger wheels because I had these really cheap plastic wheels. I had to put another side piece, normally that's there but that had fallen off. And then I had a grid, a cast iron grid here, and I had another piece that I angle ground to the right height. And I've got my friend to weld up a frame here using angle iron. You want to just see a couple of the measurements here. That's 72 centimeters by 34 centimeters there. But the most challenging thing was how to make the adjustable mechanism. And there's a lot of YouTube videos out there which have been put up by Argentinians and Chileans, and I watched all of those and they're all in Spanish. I thought it'd be good to do one in English and also to give back to the YouTube community because I've learned so much from YouTube. So basically what I looked at is what could I get at my local hardware store and what would enable the grid to slide up and down. So this is just simply 20mm galvanized steel tubing. So I got a few meters of that, and that is what makes the basis of the frame here. So just in terms of the height, that's about, what's that, 62 centimeters up there, and it's about 78 centimeters wide. That simply is adjusted with a couple of butterfly nuts over there. These are things that I didn't even have to weld. They basically for the frame, and I just screwed them on each side. And then the mechanism for sliding up and down, I just used the neck size up of the tubing, which is 25mm, and you can see there's a piece over there. And then the only welding is between that piece of tubing and the plate which attaches to the steel frame of the grid here. You can see that is just placed on top there. It's cast iron and it's heavy. And then the mechanism here, this is actually a fence tightener that I got for 6 bucks at the local hardware shop. And you can see I've just replaced a new piece here that was a bit wobbly. Various bits and pieces to get the crank handle. But this mechanism is really nice in that it's got a ratchet for cranking it up. And then over here we simply have cabling, also from the local hardware shop, secured with these bolts and nuts over here, and a steel rod that goes all the way through, a couple of springs, a couple of butterfly nuts to hold it all together, and I'll show you how it works. And I never get bored with this. This is one of the nicest things. When you crank this handle, you get that nice sound of the ratchet going as you crank it up to the correct height. So usually what we do is, if I make a big fire over here, we start off and we do things that don't need so much heat up here, like chicken. We can also put them even higher like that. But when I do steaks and I want to get them really low down to the coals, what I do is I release this fence tensioner, and I built this little loop with a piece of wood that I simply pull up, and then I go like this and I lower it down to the exact right height, and that's really fantastic to be able to do that. The other thing which I have done is to put heat bricks in here. So I've lined the bottom and the entire original gas barbecue steel box here with proper heat bricks from a pizza shop. They're not cemented in or anything. I just cut them to size with the angle grinder, and they probably you know, add 50% efficiency to the design of this whole thing. It's on wheels. I can wheel it around, which is great. I can move it wherever I want to. And over the years or months, friends have basically said, well, what about this and what about that? So I've added things like places to keep your beers cool. I've added various things to hang your tools on, an opener for your bottle, and this is also in case there's flames or whatever, you can put your water in there. And yeah, didn't cost very much. Very happy with it, and as you can see, it's had a lot of use, and I'll be cooking up a few things a little bit later on, and we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching.